All right. Hello, everybody. This is exciting. I have a thing to test. So I have my handy dandy phone, my handy dandy phone to test out, see if something will work. So I have a chat. I have a chat. Oh my gosh. Hey Majahadra, I have a chat. That's Oh my gosh. I am I am way too excited for this, man. This is fantastic. I have a chat. I'll be Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm kind of like a professional now. What the heck? Okay. Okay. So, I'm gonna wait for people to filter in. Um until then, I will explain what has been going on this week. Um the big thing that's been happening this week is that I don't know. Oh well, I've edited part of my first part of that my last stream and put that into a video, like made it a legit video. Hello, Quayne. Yeah, that's how I laugh when I'm very excited. Uh, um, but yeah, I have a video coming out this Wednesday because I decided I would take the time and edit. That was that was kind of a mistake, kind of not, but we'll see how well it does. Um, hopefully it does well, or better. Hopefully it helps grow everything, you know? So, um, yeah, that worked out so much better than I expected it was going to. That is. Oh my gosh. I didn't expect the chat to work first try. I'm. I'm ecstatic. Almost as ecstatic as when last week we figured out syntax. When I tell you syntax is not my strong point, syntax is not my strong point. I'm very glad Sutton was around to help. Um but yeah, that's oh my gosh. Just absolutely joyous. We have a little bit of time left. If any of y'all have any questions. Just testing the chat still works. Hold up, let me make sure. Yep, the chat still works. Woo! That is fantastic. I'm gonna have to, like, make it look better, but it's just great. I am so happy that I have something functioning. I have something functioning that will make my life easier, so I don't have to, like, read out everything. People can just know, like, if they look at the chat, they'll see, oh yeah, that's who's talking, or that's who he's responding to. Oh, it's fantastic. I am just beaming. I feel like I said, I feel almost professional. I'm gonna wait a little bit longer for people to file in. Oh, Maitsu, you're not late. I'm early. I wanted to make sure that my new chat worked. Hopefully that's the right side. There, my new chat worked. Just wanted to make sure of that. Oh, which it does. I'm so glad. Yeah, I'm gonna wait a little bit to get into my feature of this week. I didn't have one last week because I didn't find anything. I didn't find anything interesting. But this week this week I'm looking at I'm looking at a conlang. I'm looking at our friend Maitsu's conlang because I had read what she had of her grammar done for, what was it, sensei or sensung or sesung, or I'm not a native Sesung speaker. I can't say it correctly. But I saw something that she had down in her grammar that made me very happy. So yeah, I guess I'll hop right into it. So, for all of you who do not know, Ofsugitxí, the conlang I'm working on currently, has topicalization. And it does so by some very obtuse case marking. It's a lot. It does so it does its topicalization by case marking and fronting of the topic, as well as person agreement, subject agreement. So that's why when I saw what Maitsu had done with her language or her dialect continuum with topicalization, I just loved it, because the whole noun case system, the morphology is extremely simple, and it does a lot with a little. Which I just love it. I love it so much. So this de suffix, that is a topicalization marker, which is it's good. It's good. I like that. But that de affix isn't necessary. Because you can use... Hold up, let me make sure. Yeah, you can use the ergative marker and then fronting to topicalize an object. It's just assumed. And it's just the fact that there is morphology on the topicalization. Like, the morphology other than de with the topicalization. It's just, it's like ingenious. And it's so simple, but so effective. And then let's see, what can I take from this? So yeah. You can do the same with whole noun phrases. Like, you can just put de at the end of a whole noun phrase, and it topicalizes everything in that noun phrase. And I feel like that works really well because of the fact that de is a separator. It's a sort of linking thing. It separates that noun phrase from the tense phrase, kind of, and it links those together so you can still tell that they are related. That might do. Yeah, it doesn't merge with the ergative marker. The ergative marker basically deletes the topic. Yeah, it's just so simple, but so effective, and just that is the stuff I live for. It's fantastic. But yeah, that's pretty much my feature for this week. Thank you, Maitsu, for letting me feature it. It's very nice to support other conlangers, and just this is cool. I enjoyed it, and I'm hoping to read more about your language. Once more comes out. So, yeah. All right. So, let's at least dive into about what we're gonna do today. So today we're gonna be doing world building. That's what today is. It's I'm gonna be spending pretty much 2 hours today just creating a culture for these people, and that's pretty much it. This is the stuff I live for because, and I have that in the description. This is the stuff I live for because this is where I can let my creativity shine. Because when it comes to like conlanging and linguistics, I'm always very like reticent to do stuff that isn't necessarily attested. And the problem is, I don't know everything that's attested and isn't attested. But with world building, that's a lot more free, if you will. I can create whatever I want and just say that's the world, you know? So I could create a binary star system with a planet that has a 98-degree axial tilt with 5 moons. Like, I could do that. And I might do a bit of that. My original plan was to have a binary star system with planet with a 98-degree axial tilt. But someone talked me out of that. So, well, kind of. I I started designing a map for it. 8 moons. 8 moons. Heard. Just gotta. Whoop. And I feel like it would be important to have a section all about the moons. Okay. Before we go any further with that, I'm gonna start the episode, but I want to finish my initial thought. So yeah, someone talked me out of it, kind of. I started making a map, a world map, for the 98-degree axial tilt thing, and I realized that I really didn't want to mess with the G plates for that. That was. Oh. That would have been a whole thing, and I was not ready to do that whole thing. So, and mind you, I'm only using G plates to, like, actually visualize the planet. I'm not gonna do tectonic movement or anything. It's. That's. I'm only using tectonics for, for guidelines, you know? Like, where might a mountain be, and where might a mountain range be, where might a ring of fire, say if we want an island ring, where might that be? No, Majahadra, when it comes to moons, I say the more the merrier. They are generally, moons are generally very good world building material. Because you can come up with gods. G plates is tough to get working, my guy. It's just flat out tough to get working. And I'm the guy who figured out Lexergy. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm not the guy who figured out Lexergy, but I am a guy who figured out Lexergy, and I think G plates is confusing. But yeah. So yeah, moons are generally very good world building material, especially with quote unquote pre-scientific cultures, where they can't really deduce that those are moons rather than some other thing, you know. So yeah, I think that's the sort of time frame I want to set the speakers of Ofsugitxí in, that sort of pre-scientific idea or pre-scientific era. Um, and I can figure out a time frame later. I actually have someone who's interested on helping out with the language family of Ofsugitxí. So, a history be very might be very important. It will be important, so we can have some semblance of unity. Um, But yeah, that's pretty much what we're gonna be doing today. So let's hop right into it. 3, 2, 1. Welcome everybody. Welcome back to another stream adaptation to video. Today we're gonna be doing world building. Pretty much I don't have very much figured out yet. I know that there is going to be a binary star system and 8 moons, compliments of our good friend Majahadra. But other than that, I have like a vague idea of what I want. Call this personal bias. But generally when I build a culture or do world building, the culture ends up being some sort of like analog to Vikings. Or correction, Norse. The Norse peoples. So that's, I want to see how I can subvert that without being too out there. I'm pretty sure okay. So let me start from what I want to have finished by the end of at least Mitsu, make analog to Turkic culture. Make them nomads. I don't know very much about nomadic life. I'm aware that Mongolians were nomadic. Also the fact that they rode reindeer instead of horses. What? They just straight up rode reindeer. Here's a related story. When I was in high school, we had to write a story about what it might look like to be a steppe-dwelling nomad. And believe you me, the Mongolian tribes writing down on reindeer was 100% a part of the story. It was like the inciting incident. It was. I just love that idea of reindeer instead of horses. So since I don't know all that much about nomadic cultures, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to have I'm gonna have them go between 2 or 3 spots. So they would use some sort of tool for navigation that would take them to one point for one time of the year, another point for another time of the year, and another point for another time of the year. Or like, I don't know, like for one growing season they would live in one place while this crop grew, and then they would plant here, go here while this crop grew, and then go back here. Now they have crops here, and then once those run out, they can move to the other place. Well, once those run out, they can plant more, move to another area. Okay, so our 3 main. I'm just gonna go with Demel. I'm just gonna say that's their name because that's the word for person in Ofsugitxí. So I'm just gonna. Ah, no. No! No, I don't want white. There we go. Settlements. So around what do we want them to be? Around the hottest part of the world, or do we want them to be around a cooler part of the world? Because that will drastically change like what crops they can grow. Can they grow crops? What fauna they'd be subjected to. So do we want them closer to the equator, or do we want them farther away from the equator? I am also thinking that there would be seasons. So I might go a little bit like Earth's axial tilt, but not exactly. But I don't know. Where do we want these guys? We can put them anywhere, and in fact, we can put them in vastly different places if they tame horses, or if they tame some beast of burden for riding. They have reindeer. Well, I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna, because those were the Mongols, like real world Mongols. They rode reindeer, which is so cool. It's so cool. But I mean, I get so. I don't know. Or boats. Ship. Good idea. So they could become. So let's say there's like just a central river, or a river, that they can. Desert reindeer. No, so here's the thing. Here's the thing about. Okay. Here's the thing about reindeer. In our world. In our world, reindeer are the way they are because they live in northern climates. They are. I think so. Their antlers are used for combat and attracting mates. And they can afford to do combat. Because they are in a northern climate, and they wouldn't dehydrate or they wouldn't run out of water very quickly. In a desert, I can't quite imagine that. Reindeer would exist in any similar capacity because of their combative nature. But I do like the idea of using a river to get between. I don't think camels fight, Chip. I don't think camels fight. Camels with antlers! I mean, fair. So, instead of reindeer, they're rain camels. Hold up. Where? Wait. Hold up, Majahadra. Are you talking like in the real world, or are you in the real world? Are you talking on Earth, or about the rain antlers? Rain antlers. Rain camels. Yeah, Shep, they do have better things to do. You know, like not die in the heat. I think that is the main reason why especially mammals don't fight in the desert. Obviously, if they have some sort of water source, stuff like hippos and elephants, I could imagine like hippos and elephants in on Earth having like a very near water source. Then they can get territorial because they can afford to expend the energy. Could be a vestigial trait. Okay. So. Okay, hold up. So. Sorry, I had to figure things out. Rain camels. So the rain camels are predators of desert jaguars and desert crocs. So we have an apex predator on our hands in the form of a camel. Do I hear megafauna? Do I hear a megafauna? Either that or these desert crocodiles and desert jaguars could be like tiny. Like the desert jaguars could be more like the size of bobcats, and those desert crocodiles could be like. It just doesn't work. Oh, you don't. Oh, you can't domesticate apex predators. That's fair. That's fair. There are people who have tried. Okay, so rain camels aren't the apex predator. Because they have to be a sort of... I have that settled in my head. They're not domesticated, they are feared. Maybe they're like elephants. Oh, hello, MMC Worldbuilding. We are trying to figure out how camels might have antlers. And why they might be megafauna. So, explain to me, Ship, the dynamic of elephants in this sort of deal. Because I'm intrigued. I'm aware, tamed but not domesticated. Yes. Okay. Tamed, not domesticated. Okay, so rain camels. I just love the name. So do we want to place this desert settlement by a river? Do we want to place it near the river, or do we want to place it like near an ocean where like a very salty ocean where we might expect to catch fish as the main source of food? And I say desert very loosely. Elephants will not reproduce at a high enough rate in captivity. Interesting. Okay, so I say desert very loosely, and just because it's by an ocean doesn't necessarily mean, or a river, doesn't necessarily mean that it will have high rainfall. Look at Egypt. So they tend to be left feral to breed and then captured and tamed young. That's... Okay, so we're just stealing the idea of elephants. Elephants, but not. Yeah, so do we want this desert settlement? I like that they could boat downstream in the winter to escape the cold and ride the beast back north to their summer homes when they have spent the southern land's resources. No, Ship, I love that, actually. I love that idea of rain camels being elephants, but not. That is fantastic. Okay, so the rain camels, tamed, not domesticated, megafauna of the... Okay, so Yeah, let's do just two. Two settlements. Oh my gosh, if I could use my mouse properly, it would be helpful. Majahadra, elephants, but not. There's still camels, but um, the southern megafauna of the southern settlement, featuring long, multi-pronged ram elephants, ram elephants, like that. Featuring long, multi-pronged horns. Or not, featuring long, multi-pronged horns. Sporting a pair of long, multi-pronged horns. Caves. A vestigial trait from a vestigial trait from a possible plains-dwelling ancestor. Are these horns or antlers? They are antlers. Sporting a pair of long, multi-pronged antlers, a vestigial trait from a possible plains-dwelling ancestor. So these are apex predators. Yeah, both. Okay, so they are the land apex predators. Okay, so are they regrown every year? The antlers fall off, like the antlers on reindeer and elk and deer, they generally fall off for the winter, correct? Like, it's the I say this living in a temperate forest area. I don't know off the top of my head. I'm pretty sure they fall off during the winter. To like, yeah, they fall off during the winter for like warmth purposes, so they don't have more surface area to get cold. For the non-mating season. So, if we say that they're antlers, why would they fall off? Why would they shed? I mean, it's a good idea. Again, there can be a whole lot of world building from it. But why would they fall off? Because I don't feel like just mating season is enough. You know? I don't think just it's not mating season is enough to justify them falling off. Wait, I have an idea. Same way some lizards shed their tail to evade predators. Majahadra. So I I just had the greatest idea. I just had the funniest idea of like a just one of these megafaunas. Whenever they feel threatened, their antlers just fall off. Like a vestige. Okay, let me explain my reasoning there, because that's just kind of abstract, an abstract reason. So let's say a vestigial plane, or the antlers are a vestigial trait from a possible plains dwelling ancestor, right? Those ancestors would probably fight, and say they fought and their antlers got stuck together, so they developed an ability to just shed their antlers. Um, and then they developed an ability to shed their antlers so that once they're interlocked and caught, they can still escape. And that eventually just turns into I'm feeling threatened. But I do like the heat management thing. So like during the dry season, um, during the dry season, the antlers could shed for heat management. Yeah, they just pop off. Just. I like the idea that they're expelled. It's not just like no, just that could be dangerous. That could be freaking antler missiles. Um but I do like this idea of hold up. Antlers have blood vessels? Antlers have blood vessels? Okay. So not during the dry season, but during the I want to say wet season, but I don't know if that's correct. Um yeah, you would struggle to have both. So we could say that during the wet season or the rainy season, that's what it's called, the rainy season, they could pop off because it's not necessary. Yeah, the antlers could pop off because they aren't necessary for heat management. Bone, cartilage, fibers, tissue, skin, nerves, and blood vessels. Wow, that's insane. I didn't know that. Really insane. That stuff is insane. Okay, so we can say that during the rainy season, yes, a desert savanna area. Um, the Sahel? Sahel? What are we talking about? What is the Sahel? Or the Sahel, or the whatever it is? Okay, so during the dry season, the antlers are used for heat. That's the bit of Africa between the Sahara Desert and the Savannah. I'll have to look up. I'll have to look at that. That's interesting. During the dry season, the antlers are used for heat exchange. Rainy season. Yeah. Antlers help collect water from desert fogs. So we could say they grow like spiky, like that sound. So hear me out. Let's say that these megafauna, these apex predators, have a symbiotic relationship with itty bitty creatures, kind of like sharks and crocodiles. So these antlers grew like spiky sort of deals, like not sharp spines, but like dull protrusions that collect water from desert fogs that some itty bitty carnivore could consume while living on the back of this megafauna. Cleaning up, eating bugs. Like, kind of like, I don't know if y'all know Subnautica, but kind of like the reefback. Yeah, we could do desert birds. But the reefback in Subnautica, it's literally just a big old thing with just a coral reef growing on its back. But yeah, we could do little desert birds. Okay, hold up. This is so cool. Okay. During the rainy season, the antlers are shed to a lower antlers. Also, these antlers also collect water. Desert fogs. Desert birds. Nourishment. Okay. So, yeah, just carrying a pack of sparrows around. Okay, so these antlers also collect water from desert fogs that are used by small desert birds as nourishment. Let's quick. We can break desert birds into like large and small. So I'd just say and I'll just like list some of them. And we can give like the ones that live on the rain camels. We can give them a name, like related to the rain camels. So maybe we could call them camelbacks. I ain't no camelback bird. I ain't no camelback bird. Small birds. Yes, small, specific species of bird is adapted for it particularly, which is why I think that those spines could, um, that's why I think that the antlers could collect water. That like they could grow to collect water or evolve to collect water because these birds are like living off of it. Okay, so small birds have adapted for life on which have adapted for life alongside imagine camel antler sweat being a fought over niche. Is that's the thing though. It could be. It really could be. Small birds which have adapted for life alongside camels. I also think that would be interesting. So, given the idea that these rain camels would be used as transportation, since they're megafauna, I think it would be very impractical for them to be ridden like horses. Um, I think it would be more likely that they're like hooked up to carts or chariots, and used as an engine. And I can imagine that these birds could very quickly become pets. Like analogs for dogs and cats on Earth. Or they have like a big seat on them. I don't know. Like the fancy elephant seats. I don't know. More like a bus you can't control. You just get on and are at the mercy of the beast's whim. Oh. That's fantastic. Okay. And there's a little part of the seat that has a little airy in it. Alright. I think... so I'm gonna finish this little entry on Camelback Birds. Quick. So, small birds which have adapted for life alongside rain camels. They comprise a... what is it? They comprise a... What's it called? Oh my gosh, what's it called? When both parties benefit. I was hoping for London, but ended up in Oxford. Nice, love that. Oh my gosh, what is it called? I know a parasitic is where one benefits and the other is harmed. Oh my gosh. What's the positive one for both? Oh. Mutual. Is that what it's called? It's just called a symbiotic relationship? Which birds clean? Hello, Sawton. We have reindeer camel elephants. They comprise a symbiotic relationship in which the birds clean the rain camels. So, rain camels provide a water source. Alright, on that note, if you want to watch more speculation on what things might be in this world, you're just gonna have to catch the next video. Yeah, I hope to see you back here. Alright. End scene. This is so cool. This is so cool. We have the apex predator used as a travel device. A megafauna. An apex predator of which is a megafauna as the main means of transportation between two settlements, a northern and a southern settlement. And just birds that live on them. That is certainly something. It is certainly something. Also, Sawton, we have a chat. We have a chat. I'm so happy about it. I love it. But yes, rain camels. Oh my gosh, it's fantastic. Nope, that's... Trying to do find and replace. Oh my gosh, Control H, it's just Control H, alright. I am going to capitalize this. No, no, Sawton, no! Don't do it! Don't do it! And say oh my gosh. Oh. We have something. one of the biggest things that I wanted to cover today was why a culture's language might have a future as an assumed tense. And I think the fact that they're nomadic covers that, but I would like to explore that more. It could be one of those cultures that constantly believes that they believe that they are facing the future. Kind of like how we look forward to things and look back. So if you say, like, if you're going to a concert, you say, "Oh, I'm looking forward to this." If you're going to a concert in like 2 days, you'd say, "Oh, I'm looking forward to it." It could just happen. What makes you say that? What makes you say it could just happen? Like, fair. But also, I would like a little bit more justification. If that's... Ooh. And then I'm gonna adjust this so it's Camelback. Welsh default forms of the verbs is the question. I don't know if that's cursed or great. Welsh unmarked verbs for question and mark them for not questions. And there's nothing culturally significant about questions. Because, like, I could understand if they were, like, a highly scientific culture. Where, like, the main thing you're doing is asking questions. No cultural significance. Alright. So it doesn't look like we'll need to touch on that. But for this next one, I think we should touch on the northern settlement. Everything is a question if you ask it hard enough. Everything is a question if you ask it hard enough. Beautiful. Beautiful. So. Okay. What? This is supposed to be heading 3. There we go. Oh, what? Normal text. No! Jeez. This start. Dalton, why are we back to killing dogs? I don't want this to be a stream joke. We already have killing pigs as a stream joke, but or just a joke for you. Oh my gosh. Back to killing dogs. Oh, excuse me. You didn't kill. I didn't kill the dog. The pig did. All right. Let's hop back into it. If people look at the chat at the beginning of this video, they are going to be very confused. I will not help them. All right. 3, 2, 1. Welcome back. We are talking about world building for the Ofsugitxí speakers. So last video we touched on the desert settlement and the fauna there. Excuse me. And this stream, or this episode, we're going to be talking about the northern settlement. I think we should start with... So, I can see over the years, or the generations, or whatever, that these desert settlement rain camels, let's say they can't take as many up as they can't take as many down to the southern settlement in boats as they thought they could. So let's say they could just leave some of the rain camels there, and I could imagine that they would then adapt and evolve into a northern sort of rain camel deal. But then that would be an invasive species, wouldn't it? Especially because it's an apex predator. Do we want to invite that? Do we want to invite them there, or do we want to do something terrible? Do we want to hurt the camels? No. Wait. I got the idea. So they're megafauna, right? Well, why can't they just walk through the river? There's a net positive northern camel influx. Why not both? Why not do the horrible thing and have an invasive species? What I was going to say was, we can just have them walk. We can just have them walk through the river. Can't we? Like, the massive camel graveyard in the north, like from the Lion King. Oh no. But some survive. We could say that the okay. So what we can say, I have an idea. We just drink the river. So, hear me out. The northern equivalent of rain camels, or the rain camels that were left in the north, evolved to be smaller. They just got smaller because so they get smaller and they lose their horns, because horns are just more surface area to get cold. So enough camels drink at the same time, the flow of the river cannot replace the water at the rate it is consumed, and the river becomes crossable. The big guys just stare to death? Just stare to death. Like but no, so the little guys eat the big guys. I'm really regretting making these guys predators. Like a homing pigeon. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I do like the idea of them losing size and losing their antlers. So we could say that there's a split. There could be like a northern camel. Just that idea is humorous to me. So like a northern camel and a southern camel. A northern camel and a southern camel, and then a mediary camel, which like might not have lost its antlers, but it definitely got smaller. So I'll touch on that. So hold on. Northern. Rain. Would these be wild? Would these be wild? So I feel like because their ancestors would be tamed but not domesticated, they would still be wild. So I'll just say that they're wild. Smaller. Smaller. Smaller form of the southern. Smaller form of the southern rain camel. Not. That has lost its. That is a apostrophe S. What's a Saraboo? Taunton. I'm intrigued. That has lost its antlers. And has lost its antlers and what else can I say about it? I could say it could have grown a longer coat. It could be like Highland cows. Grown. Okay, that has lost its antlers and grown a thicker pelt for insulation. Jeez, I am tired. Okay. Smaller form. Yes, the one in the cold got smaller because it if I can speak English, it would be helpful. The one in the north got smaller because, you know, less surface area. The cold makes things get bigger. So we have a megafauna and then a megafauna. Huh. And we would be able to see a more diverse population of symbiotic animals. Makes things get bigger. Is that like that square cube law sort of deal? Like the bigger it is, the more surface area it has, and the more surface area it has, the more heat it can produce. Super megafauna. I like that idea. So, surface to volume ratio. Yeah. So we can say larger form. We can say larger form. Larger form of the southern rain camel. Do we want to keep the antlers? We do not want to keep the antlers. Okay, so larger form of the southern rain camel that has lost its antlers and grown a thicker pelt for insulation. Especially if they were designed to reduce heat in hot climates. Okay, yeah. That's fair. So we can't say that these guys are the apex predators here. I don't think we can. Like cooking a baked potato in reverse, warm center, slower if it's bigger. Fair. I never thought I would have the square cube law explained to me in terms of baked potato. But that one's good. But yeah, I don't think this one can be an apex predator. Mainly because it does. I don't know, how diverse do we want this to be? Because if we introduce the rain camels from the south, and they are an apex predator, in the south, what would that say for the northern settlement? It would probably become an invasive species and just overpopulate. So it would be like a really big size difference where the northern rain camel is the biggest animal, and then the smaller animals are literally just birds or rats, or like they wouldn't be able to have apex predator either exists or doesn't. So we can just say, so can we say that there are two predators on the same level? Two predators that, would they compete? Would they become territorial? I could imagine if there's like a actually, yeah. I don't. No, they wouldn't become apex because they don't have the same diet. and then those old predators that evolved in the northern settlement could just straight up have a buffet. Okay, sorry. I gotta predator. Okay, so then what do we want to do for the apex predator of the northern settlement? We can do something like bears. We can do... I'm trying to think. What other things do we have in... What are the other predators in colder climates? I think really just bears on Earth are like apex predators of temperate areas. We could do something like bears. Bear-sized beavers. Bear-sized. Only the polar bear is apex. Bear-sized beavers. Okay. Let's run with that idea, actually. Bearvers. Okay, so hear me out. Hear me out. These bear-sized beavers could lay traps. And not like traps in the sense of like you step in it and you're done. No, like we're talking guerrilla warfare. Like, just... We could say that they're pack hunters. We could say that they're pack hunters that work to corner their prey into some area. And then, while their prey is like trying to find an escape route, there are other bearvers working on... So, like, say that they have their prey cornered up against a tree. So, there could be... While this prey is, like, frantically trying to figure out what to do, there could be a bearver behind the tree just pushing on it and breaking it down until finally it falls and crushes the prey. They funnel their prey using large dams they made. Okay, so pack tactics. Pack tactics are a must. So the rain camels could exist. So desert rain camels could exist as solitary hunters. But in the north, the rain camels become pack. They use pack life. And these bearvers Wild pack animals. One team chases the prey, the other lies in wait at the end of the funnel. That is insane. That is insane. Bearvers. Bearvers! You know, if we're just slamming names together. While we're slamming names together, that just works. Bearvers. So let's give it a size. So do we want these to be like hyenas? That's a hunting strategy used by humans in savannas. Nice. Do we want bearvers to be like the size of hyenas? Or do we want them to be the size of bears? I'm trying to think of, like, from foot to shoulder. How tall would they be? We can look it up. How tall is Tom Cruise? I don't know if y'all can see it, but it's the... I don't know if y'all can see it from my webcam being in the way, but just freaking how tall is Tom Cruise is the first result. Okay. Tall at the shoulder. Okay. At least 3 ducks tall. We cannot what? We cannot what, son? Let's just say 4 feet. Yeah, so let's go on the 2.5 feet size. We cannot what? Sutton, explain yourself. So 2.5 feet from toe to shoulder. Apex. An apex predator sporting rectangular you have been explained before. It's bold of you to assume I remember things, son. You remember my own language better than me. Like, I don't... context is generally just whoo for me. What are these called? These are called incisors? Yes, because those are called canines. Large. Sharp. Incisors. Used. Sutton is all the context. Sharp incisors used for chewing down trees. These trees are then used to dams, river, dams, your tunnels for bearers to right into, while a second team bearers the end of the tunnel to attack and kill. Okay. About 2.5 feet from toe to shoulder, an apron predator, sporting large, sharp incisors used for chewing down trees. These trees are then used to make dams on the river. These dams feature tunnels for bearers to chase prey into, while a second team of bearers waits at the end of the tunnel to attack and kill the prey. This is great. I love this. And now that we have that all written down, I think it's time for me to say goodbye to YouTube. So if you want to see more world building, check back for the next video. All right, have a good one. I am very tired today. And I made the terrible choice of waking up and choosing violence towards my vocal cords. I woke up and decided that I was going to practice my throat singing, which I don't know if y'all are aware of what throat singing is and how it's done, but throat it requires a mechanism in your throat that really hurts if you do it for long periods of time, or if you do it wrong. So I currently have a semi-sore throat, and it is 100% my fault. Just all of my fault. Oh. Okay. So this next video, I think we should talk about I think we should mess about with I think we should mess about with agriculture and hunting, because I feel like there can be some odd things happening with that, with the fact that there are two settlements. So we could say that only certain crops grow in certain areas, or we could do that. Yeah, we could do that. Certain crops grow in certain areas, Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna do agriculture. And if we get to hunting, we'll do hunting. Yeah. So let's get into this. Right. 3, 2, 1. Hello there. We are working on world building for the Ofsugitxí speakers right now. So this video, we're gonna be working on like the agriculture, and if we get to it, possibly hunting. So that's what we're touching on today. We are going to we're gonna split this up. Sutton, here's the thing. Yeah, you might have gotten away with the swear, but it's not. It's censored on my end, at least. It's just all asterisks. Northern, then southern settlement or desert settlement. Okay. So, I think we should start with the desert settlement first. Sutton. If I have to go back, edit this video, because you couldn't keep your mouth clean, I'm going to be mildly annoyed at best. At worst, I'll be frustrated. I don't know how to edit. No, I won't be frustrated with anything you say. I'll just be frustrated with the fact that I have to edit it out. And that I have to edit it out, and that I don't know how to edit it out. So desert settlement. So I think we should touch on agriculture in the desert settlement, because I think this can be more interesting. Just a black bar over chat. Just the whole chat? So I think we can. So my idea is during the rainy season, which would be the technical cooler season. The cooler season, the Demel would move up, or the Ofsugitxí speakers would move up to the northern settlement, where it would be warmer. No, please don't, son. I don't wanna have to do all this. I don't wanna have to do work. But yeah, so the Ofsugitxí speakers would move up to their northern settlement during the desert rainy season. And during this rainy season, they could grow crops. They could grow like huge fields of crops. So agriculture is not a effective and or efficient during the dry season. Therefore, no, it's 4. Most agriculture is done before the rainy season fully arrives. The crops that grow are accustomed to high rainfall and low sunlight, leading what would that cause? Semi-sedentary migration based off seasonal agriculture hunt. Yes, that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing, Majahadra. So let's just hold up. We're gonna highlight this. The Demel are a semi-sedentary culture that great settlements depending. What is it? Seasonal agriculture. Okay, we just have that written down. So what would high rainfall and low sunlight lead to? Oh my gosh, what are some countries that have monsoon seasons? Okay. Let's do Taiwan. Rice. Florida. We could do rice. I like that idea. The quality of rice is very high. Hold up. Let's do some Wikipedia research. Betel nuts. Gosh, I bought a new mouse and I can't remember to use it. Coffee. Hold up. I don't want to know. I just want to know about how the monsoon season affects crops. Spatial planning for agricultural farms in Taiwan is embedded into the Taiwan Agricultural Land Information Service, whose data is collected by Formosat 2 Earth observation satellite. Information of farmland availability, soil properties, cropping suitability, irrigations, infrastructures, land it really just doesn't say anything about monsoon seasons and how that affects it. I would imagine that most of their cash crops I would assume that most of their cash crops would grow during the monsoon season. But so we can do rice. Yeah, there's a dry season and a wet season. I understand that. Tariff crops are grown in wet and hot conditions. For instance, rice, maize, bahira, corn, and peas are few of the kharif crops during monsoons in India. Yes, wet season is heavy rainfall. Yes, I understand the concept. I'm just trying to figure out what grows and what thrives in which conditions, you know? And what that would lead to. Like if I could assume that with heavy rainfall that could lead to like minerals. A lot of minerals being brought up by the plants. Sheriff seems to be a good keyword here. Okay. So oh, we have a thing. Kharif crops, also known as monsoon crops or autumn crops. There we go. We have it. Are domesticated plants that are cultivated and harvested in India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh during the Indian subcontinent's monsoon season, which lasts from June to November depending on the area. Monsoon rains may begin. That doesn't matter. Okay. Okay. So I think we should have a few different kinds of crops. I think we should grow one seed plant, or we should have one seed plant for oils and stuff. So we could do high rainfall will tend to leach out most minerals and nutrients from soils. Never mind, I'm a liar. But I like the idea of growing at least one cereal. So rice, I'm gonna just straight up say rice. We could grow stuff like sesame seeds. And plums. I'll just say plums. Or peaches. I just like peaches. They're really good. So, large harvest rice, peaches, sesame, and just for everybody's reference, I am capitalizing plumeaches. I'm capitalizing things just for so I know later that I need to change them, like for the actual word. And Majahadra, So here's the thing. I love the taste of peaches. Like, fresh peaches are fantastic. But I also love the crunch of plums. Like, you take a bite of a plum and it just snaps. Just so good. So I think I'll do plumeaches. Okay. So we could say that it tastes like a peach, but it feels like a plum. So rice, plumeaches, and sesame plants. Okay. I like this. Leading to large harvests of rice, plumeaches, and sesame plants. Okay. What could we do during your plums snap? They're not fit to eat. No, okay. So okay, I mean the skin. The skin is like not tender, but the skin isn't tender, but it's like it's taut. It's pulled taut. I am terrible at explaining things. I don't know why I have a YouTube channel. It's like I don't know how to explain it. But it's like an apple where the skin is just very tough. It's a nice crisp apple. Biting into a nice crisp apple feels the same way that a nice crisp plum. Okay. Now that we've had that rant, plumeaches and rice, plumeaches, and sesame plants. Could we say that fruit trees grow during the dry season, or fruits blossom in the dry seasons? Because, or like, my first thought goes to like the baobab trees, if that's what they're called. Baobab. So the baobab tree, he a chunky boy. He a chunky boy. That's water in there. So that they just thick. And that's because they bloat themselves with water. So I could imagine that fruits could grow off of said baobab tree, or baobab-esque tree. Trees. So baobab trees bloom. Baobab trees bloom during the dry season, producing fruits. We could say there's like a few different species. Perhaps an arid veggie or fruit is grown in the more rainy areas because they swell up like a watermelon. That is amazing. I like that. Okay. Let me finish working on this, let me finish this. Producing fruits with high water in their flesh. So we can say dry baobab and wet baobab, or rainy baobab. So maybe the rainy baobab hasn't quite worked its water retention, or it's lost its ability to retain as much water as it normally could. So rainy baobab trees produce a fruit apple melon. We'll just call this apple melon. High have a very high concentration of water in their flesh. Producing, okay, so dry baobab trees, dry baobab, producing dry baobab trees bloom during the dry season, producing apple, melon variety, less saturated, sweeter in taste. It is less saturated by water. Because that's what I found. Like grapes, generally the less water they have, the more taste they have. At least to me. Then again, I also enjoy sour flavors. I don't know, I guess it just really depends on the fruit. But I'm able to confidently say that these dry baobab apple melons would be sweeter. And on that note, I think that's a good place to wrap up for today. So, YouTube, if you didn't like these world building videos, don't worry. Next week we're gonna go into more conlanging. Haven't quite decided what yet, but if you enjoy the conlanging, feel free to come back. Alright. Have a good one, y'all. Join us next time. Oh, it's fantastic. I don't know. What is next week? Next week is that the first week of September? No, It's the last week of August, though. I only ask because I know that the click stream, the semi-self-indulgent click stream, is on October 2nd. So, I still have a bit of time left to read up on clicks. But I don't know. What should we work on next time? I'm not too sure. Cause I feel like we've been given a lot of. I feel like we've been giving Ofsugitxí a lot of attention recently. But I don't. We've been giving Ofsugitxí a lot of attention recently, and those streams seem to do better when I'm doing Ofsugitxí stuff. But Kea, I feel like, is the most loved. Super minimal language. Is that your suggestion, Sutton? Just create a language in 2 hours? You know, like, fair. No coronal revealer stop outside of clusters. Put a CV syllable. Wait. A C. Okay, hold up. This is fantastic. Hold up. This is great. Super minimal lang. Okay. CV. Yes. Please share your CV langs. Okay. And then hear me out. Tone. Sarnwe. Divsar. Sarnwe. Sarnwe. Divsarnwe. Only word level tone. So. Oh, falling tone. Okay. So... Okay, I'll have to do some research on how Swedish and Punjabi do their tone. Okay, hold on. I'll just put this, I'll plop this down here. Okay. Alright. So, that's all the time I got for today. We have something. We have something. Alright. Have a good one, y'all. I'm out.